Again, we thank you and we welcome you to our daily press conference. I am the chairperson for this morning's proceedings, Munel Ayong Thompson. With me on our head table, we have Ms. Sharon Lee Asang, Director of Public Affairs, and we also have a very special guest today. It's retired ACP, Ms. Margaret Sampson Brown, who is now filling the portfolio of manager of Victim and Witness Support Unit. Without further ado, we go straight into our reports, followed by our question and answer segment.
Morning, ladies and gentlemen. Morning. An exercise was carried out at the San Rafael district between 12:15 p.m. and 5:10 p.m. yesterday. It was coordinated by police officers of the Northern Division Task Force and the Organized Crime, Narcotics, and Firearms Bureau. They went into forested areas at the southern side of the Mundo Nuevo Forest, Talparo, and found approximately 18,000 fully grown marijuana trees and 3,200 young marijuana trees with a street value of approximately 13 million TT dollars. The plants were uprooted and destroyed. One 12-gauge shotgun and 6 cartridges of 12-gauge ammunition was also seized. 2 persons were arrested and will be charged for possession of firearm, ammunition, possession of marijuana for the purpose of trafficking and cultivating marijuana. There was an incident involving 3 school children at the San Fernando West Secondary School in San Fernando around 10:48 a.m. yesterday. 2 14-year-old students were at the school standing in the area of the school's cafeteria when there was an altercation with another student, another 14-year-old student. As a consequence, the third student dealt several blows about the bodies of the first 2 students with a wooden object, which resulted in some injuries. They were both taken to the San Fernando General Hospital. One of them was female. She was treated and subsequently released. The other male student, however, was treated and transferred to the Port of Spain General Hospital. He is presently awaiting surgery and in a serious condition. So investigations are continuing with that. The third student is presently being detained at the San Fernando Police Station. In Princestown, a firearm was found around 3 p.m. yesterday. As a result of information received, officers visited a vacant lot at St. Croix Road, Princestown, and found a length of steel pipe. The object was about 3 feet, and one end was swollen with an attachment which appeared to be a shotgun. So investigations are also continuing in that. Regarding, I think it was yesterday, somebody asked about the investigations regarding the drug find in Point Leases. We're happy to report today that investigations are proceeding at a pace with regards to the $1 million drug bust. At present, members from the Jamaican police are here in Trinidad, along with officers from the Excise and Excise Division, also Customs and Excise from Jamaica. They have been working with our counterparts here through OCNFB and, of course, Customs and Excise Division. So things are moving ahead quickly. We expect arrests are imminent. Yeah, the traffic bill, I wouldn't talk about that. Last 2 weeks ago, I think Ms. Archie spoke about the increase in the number of persons who are being held for driving under the influence. And the DCP crime asked me this morning again to remind the public out there, please, we implore you, if you need to drink, don't drive. In the last few days, we have seen 4 persons die as a result of traffic fatalities, all of which could have been prevented. It's not an accident, it's a fatality. And we are we're pleading with you all to please, don't drink and drive. If you do need to drink, don't drive. Okay. Last week, our commission participated in an international roadway safety conference, which was held in Port of Spain, dealing with that. At that point in time, I think our road fatalities was 206. Today, we're at 210. All right. If we're looking at do a comparison between the number of road traffic fatalities and the number of murders committed, they're almost neck and neck. And road fatalities can be prevented. All right. I'm going to give you all an update on the SOE now, so we can see that. The past 24 hours between 8 a.m. September 26 and 8 a.m. on September 27, total arrested 54, gang-related 0, homicides 0, drug offenses 7, breach of curfew 3, firearm-related 0, other offenses 1, serious offenses 8, outstanding warrants 27, inquiries 6, traffic offenses, fixed penalty tickets 2, and firearm and ammunition 1. Summary since the start of the state of emergency: total arrested 3,601, gang-related 449, drug offenses 618, other offenses 131, serious offenses 671, homicide investigation 56, breach of curfew 170, inquiries 343, traffic offenses 641, ammunition 12,328 plus 28 magazines, firearms seized 111, outstanding warrants 823. The Commissioner of Police once again thanks the public for their patience, cooperation, and assistance during this state of emergency. All of the protective services are working exceptionally well together, utilizing a collaborative approach to bring the perpetrators of crime and the criminal elements to justice. He reminds the law-abiding citizens that they need not fear. The activities of the police are aimed at those persons intent on breaking the law. And we invite the members of the public to continue to partner with us by sharing information at the various numbers that are available. And I will call them up because I've noticed that some of the media houses are putting them on the screen. 800-0699, 800-0700, 800-8833, and of course the 555 to report a crime. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Recently, we're noticing a number of incidences regarding domestic violence that seems to be coming up in the media almost every week. We're very concerned, and I thought it would be prudent of us to have Margaret Sampson Brown, who's in charge of our witness and victim support unit, to actually come and talk about some of these issues and some of the things that women need to do, what they need to pay attention to, and who they can contact in the event that something happens.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mrs. Sharon Liasam. The Victim and Witness Support Unit is relatively an evolving unit. It started in 2008 with the transformation of the police service. And at that time, we had 20 professional civilians, they're not police officers, coming in to work with the Victim and Witness Support Unit. These officers were placed at the various model stations, at Mova, at San Fernando, at Chigwanas, at Aruca, and at Caranage, Western Division, now it's Caranage. We had 20 officers, and those officers had responsibility to work with victims of crime. That's in 2008. And the crime, we boarded it down to domestic violence and sexual offenses. However, from 2008 to 2010, we saw an evolution of the response of how persons were reacting to the victim and witness support officers. As a result, we broadened the spectrum in that we were saying that all victims of crime, any victim, any person who's traumatized by crime, that we, the victim and witness support officers, will work with you. How do you access the victim and witness support officers? Once you make a report to the police, and sometimes you don't need to make a report, but once you make a report to the police, we will kick in. Although we work during the day, but we are on call 24 hours a day. Once you make the report to the police, we will come with you. We will work with you. We walk through the system with you, the court system with you. If there's need for us to sit with you to take statements, witness statements, if there's need for us to be in the identification parade room with you, we work with you to network with the other networking agencies. If there's an issue that you need to go to another agency, the victim and witness support officers will work with all the victims of crime from beginning to infinity. Why are we doing this? We are doing this to bridge the gap between the police and the community, to provide that bridge upon which the community can walk to us. There are persons in communities who do not want to report crime for whatever reason. They have their reason. But what we are saying as victim and witness support officers, that we are here to support you. It's a crime fighting initiative initiated in 2008 and continuing with some speed in respect of a service delivery. It's not separate from the police. It's within the police. It's a crime fighting initiative. So that when a situation occurs, we kick in. We come in. There are 3 officers in San Fernando, 2 in Chaguanas, 2 in Carenage, 2 in Mova, and 2 in Aruca. On the 3rd of October, we will be bringing on 9 victim and witness support officers. They are already interviewed, they are already vetted, and they will be coming on the 3rd of October to join this group that we have. So in all, we would have 20 officers. Now, when we look at it, we say 20, could they provide the kind of services? Yes, we can. We will be working with you. We intend to go to be posted. They will be posted in Sangre Grande, Faizabad, Point Fortin, homicide, anti-kidnapping. We are spreading our wings so that our victims and witnesses out there who believe that they are alone in this world could come to the police, and we would give you a holistic support so that you will feel empowered to go to the court, to face the person that you're accusing, and to be able to reduce crime. That's one of the things we want to do. We want to reduce crime significantly. And how do we do that? We work with our victims and our witnesses so that they feel comfortable. Now, nothing about crime is comfortable. Quite recently, in fact, as we speak, my victim and witness support officers are working with the parties from Central Division who experienced that horrific situation. We are working with them. We are working with the parties in Moruga. 2 Mondays ago, we went down to Moruga and we worked with the parties in Moruga. And we are available. Just call us. Call the Mova Police Station, the Carenage Police Station, the Chaguanas Police Station, the San Fernando Police Station, and the Aruca Police Station. Call us. We are available. We are available 24 hours a day, and we are here to give you the support, just what the name says, Victim and Witness Support Unit of the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service. It's not an external service. It's a service subsumed in the whole issue of crime fighting, upon which we want to deliver. We want to deliver the best service to our community because you deserve the best. Hence the reason that the Victim and Witness Support Office is operational. By December of this year, we will be bringing on 15 additional officers, and they are all professionally trained. To be a Victim and Witness Support Officer, you have to have a first degree in social work, psychology, and counseling. So one would have an appreciation for dealing with trauma and all the situations that accompany victims and witnesses of crime. So once you have that degree, you apply. We have a lot of people waitlisting, but if you feel that you want to contribute and you have a first degree or so on, you make an application to the police service. So we would put you on file, and we are able to expend the kind of services that you deserve. We have male also on our Victim and Witness Support Officer, because sometimes we feel that we have victims out there and they are male and they do not want to speak to a female. We have about 4 male officers, and I am strategically placing them in the 5 stations that we now occupy, so that a male victim, will feel comfortable. If they do not want to speak to a female victim, they can speak to a male victim. So, members of the public, there is a unit called the Victim and Witness Support Unit. There are 20 officers, professional persons assigned to that. I am the manager of that unit, and it is our quest to work with you as victims and witnesses of crime, to be able to assist you, to empower you, so that you would be able to live again. Because some of us feel that when we are victims of crime, we feel like we want to die. But let me tell you, your unit will be there to support you, to prop you, to work with you, to be with you, to call you, to network with you, to other agencies. If we believe that there are other loop agencies that require to assist you, we are going to work with those agencies to bring a kind of behavior that will make you believe that that situation is in the past and you are moving forward with your life.
Thank you. At this time, the floor is now open to questions. Let us keep in mind that we have a roving mic. I see that our members of the media are ready to participate. Good student.
Denzel.
Hi. Good morning. Just to clear up one thing, because we ended with you. These are 20 civilians. They're on the payroll. They're not volunteers, right?
No, they are on the payroll. They get a very good salary.
Just need to clear that up.
In relation to the point 14 find, is it that you're making significant inroads? Sorry, point Lisa, sorry. Is it that you're making significant inroads and there's been some sort of breakthrough based on the investigations thus far?
Well, the investigation thus far has brought officials from Jamaica here to Trinidad, and I expect that inroads are being made.
Out of the, it's a question I've been asking for the longest while. I'm going to ask it again. Out of the 3,601 persons held, how many persons have since been released, and how many have been charged?
Well, those statistics, I will have to have for you tomorrow, without further delay.
And the diesel in Sealots, what is the status of that investigation? Have any persons been detained, questioned in relation to that find?
Not as yet.
Pertaining to the gangsters, has the police given up on searching for gangsters? I know you clarified the issue of charging them, but have they been arresting people on suspicion of being gang members and gang leaders? And are they being placed under the category of inquiries and other offenses that you have listed so far?
Well, actually, based on the question that you asked, it was you who asked yesterday, over the weekend we held 4 persons in the Eastern Division, and consideration actually at this point in time is being given to have them prosecuted under the anti-gang legislation. So it's not that we have given up. We have not given up. We have not stopped. Police work continues every day, 24 hours a day.
I read in the newspapers today that some of the detainees, and quoting the papers, are going to be held at the maximum security prisons. How many people can you say out of the 3,000 plus are currently there at the maximum security prison?
That I can't tell you.
Would you be able to tell me, like his question tomorrow?
I'm going to look for the figures for you and be able to provide that information for you tomorrow.
Okay. And the last question, when will the Santa Rosa Detention Center, and it's a detention center, not a prison, right? And could you, if possible, clarify the difference between the detention center and prison?
No, I possibly can't clarify the difference.
Okay. And when would it be officially open?
That will, I believe, will have to come through the Ministry of National Security.
Ma'am, how do you respond to claims made by some members of the public, and in a recent media report, television media report, I believe on CNC3 last night, that the guns, many of the guns that have been seized thus far in the SOE anti-crime crackdown are old, in some cases rotting, and that they are basically defective. In other words, the police still aren't getting the more modern, up-to-date firepower. They're still missing, they're still out there, and the police, despite our SOE, have been unsuccessful in getting at these weapons. All they're getting is the old weapons.
Well, old weapons, new weapons, weapons manufactured in 10 years ago, 15 years ago can still can still kill someone. So therefore, we continue to do our work. What we do is appeal to the public if they know of any guns, if they have any family members who they suspect may have things hidden somewhere in a milk tin pan buried in the yard, in the latrine. They should give us a call and let us know to help us increase the number of guns that we recover. A lot of the times police work is really hinged on a partnership between the officers and the residents in the communities. So therefore we are appealing once again to the public to provide us with some information, because you know, all of you know, you have an idea, you have an inclination. Just give us a call, an anonymous call, and we wouldn't call your name. We will go and do what needs to be done.
Mr. Sampson Brown, you were talking about urging nationals, Tribunians, those who have been victims of crime, to come out and seek help from the unit. But what happens if a victim or two, if the perpetrator is a police officer? Would members of the unit still be willing to help that victim, although it could be one of their colleagues, even a personal friend?
Well, I think my approach to that will be extremely aggressive. Let me tell you something. If a police officer it is alleged, commits an offense, we will treat it with the same speed as any other. It doesn't make it makes the offense more hard, because a police officer is supposed to know better. But again, remember, he's accused, he or she is accused. But once that person is a victim of crime, even though it's a police officer who is a victim of crime, if the police officer is the perpetrator of a victim of crime, our victim and witness support officer will be aggressively address that situation. There will be no hold barred. We go in straight and working with that person or persons or community. In addition, we are also going into the community proactively, because there are victims in communities who do not want to speak, who for whatever reason scared to speak. We are going into the communities, the victim and witness support officers, and having seminars, group sessions. In fact, in the 9 police divisions throughout Trinidad and Tobago, we will be forming in a short space of time, 9 victim and witness support groups. On the 14th, actually, of October is a tentative date where we will launch. We are going to launch that victim and witness support groups. So in the 9 police division, we will have that support group where victims can come together. Where's the best healing method? The best healing method is when persons of like minds come together. Victims come together where they can share their experiences and learn from each other. And we are going to provide that enabling environment to allow our victims to come together in the support group that we are going to form in the 9 police divisions.
Ms. Sampson Brown, 2 quick questions. The support group, will it be similar crimes being grouped together? But I don't think, or I don't see it possible where a victim of, let's say, robbery is sitting chatting with a victim of murder. Yes, they are both victims of crime, but my pain is a whole lot different from yours. Would you be classifying the groups?
No, actually, let me tell you something. A cat break his foot and a dog break his foot the same break. Marshmallow and diamond, how do we harvest both? We are dealing with the feeling. Let me tell you, a murder victim may have no emotion as against a person who was robbed. They may be outpouring with emotion. And our stats have revealed that. When we have interacted, there are persons with serious crime and their traumas appear less. They deal with it differently. What we want at those support groups is that people must come together and share their emotions, share their trauma. You know, I did so and so. so that we can walk step by step with that person. Now, a murder victim, how do we deal with a murder victim? How do we deal with somebody who has been robbed? How do we deal with someone whose car was stolen or taken away from them at gunpoint? We are not really dealing with the offense. What we are dealing with is that emotional and psychological bridge, or that build up in those individuals that we want to break down, so that they can sit with one another and share that information and cry and deal with it. At the end of it, we want them to step out of the trauma. The investigative part will be done by the investigator, the police officer. But we are dealing with, because remember our officers, our professional officers are psychologists, counselors, and social workers. So we are dealing with that liquid emotion, that liquid feeling with people that moves, that psychological behavior. That's what we're dealing with.
My last question is, this program has been in existence since 2008.
Yes.
What is the success rate you have had so far?
Well, apparently we have had a great deal of success. From 2008 to practically 2009, we have interviewed, dealt with, treated with over 350 victims of crime. We want to increase that, not to increase the victims of crime, but to increase our dealings with. Hence the reason we are going out there in the general public. We're launching programs. You'll see us a whole lot in the media and in the both electronic and print, because there are some persons who don't know us, who don't know that we exist. So we want to become very visible. We want to be the lips of everybody. So that in case something happens, we want people to say, listen, there is a victim and witness support unit working alongside with the investigator and with the police service, so that they could come to us and talk. Sometimes they didn't even report the crime to the police yet, but they report it to us. At the end of it, we want them to report it, because the data will reflect. The more data you get, you're more informed, the more you're able to effectively police. And we are about that business, to get people to report the crime, no matter how small it is. You know, they rob me, they take my chain, they do this. That is not small, it's big. And we want for people to identify that and report it, so that we can have the data going and we can be able to police you better.
At this time, we'll allow 2 more questions.
Just one final one for me, Mr. Swan. I remember when the state of emergency was initially called, there was a crackdown on scrap dealers and possible illegal activity going on there. Could you tell me if the current investigation is still taking place as to that, and if so, what is the status of those investigations?
The investigation is ongoing. In terms of where things have reached at this point in time, I don't have that information before me, but I will take a note of it and provide you with an update, hopefully tomorrow.
Mrs. Liasang, how do you respond to calls from the Law Association for the police service to deal promptly, quickly, and effectively with any officers who use excessive force, who commit human rights abuses against citizens during this SOE? Now, they make that statement in comparison to the regiment, who have quickly dealt with 2 rogue soldiers for using excessive force against citizenry during the SOE curfew hours. How do you respond to this?
Well, we have a use of force policy during the Tobago Police Service, and officers who are in breach of that policy, we have a robust internal system that addresses that, robust and quickly. I can't comment on the process that the Defense Force use and how they are able to bring their investigations to completion in a shorter space of time, but I can assure the public that the Trinidad and Tobago Police does investigate all of these matters, and we have a system that is in place. Now, we have, of course, the Police Complaints Authority. If the public feels that the police investigation may not provide them with response in a shorter space of time. And then we also have the internal, where you can go to the police station itself, make your report, and it's investigated. But
how many officers have been held, are being investigated for excessive use of force against citizens at this time?
Under the state of emergency, also either statistics, I'm not too certain, but I will have to get that information for it.
Well, we thank you for your time once again. And
try.
we invite you to come again tomorrow with your questions. I see that you all are really on the ground. You're coming with questions and challenging us daily, and we invite you to do so every day
And
at
email.
11.
Email.
And feel free. You see, because we can't anticipate all your questions, we always invite you to utilize technology and send us your questions via email. Utilize public affairs at ttps.gov.tt. Feel free to send us your questions. We don't know all the answers, but we are willing to research so that when you ask, we'll be able to furnish you with those answers. So your time here will be well spent. Again, we thank you, and we look forward to seeing you tomorrow.